Hello everyone, welcome to Analog IAS current affair analysis for 8th May 2020, and these are the articles we'll be dealing today. The first article for the day is taken from the Hindu and it is titled Water Wisdom During a Pandemic. So every year March 22nd is celebrated as the World's Water Day. More than any year, water became more and more important across the world because of a COVID-19 crisis. So we have realized the importance of water and access to clean water as the basic step that is required for a healthy lifestyle and sanitation. So the theme for this year's World's Water Day is water and climate change. So in summary, we are trying to understand what is the impact of climate change on various water resources across the world. So in order to minimize the adverse impacts of climate change on water resources and also attaining sustainable development, there is a need for developing rational adaptation strategies for water resources. So in the last few years, we have seen explosion of population, and this growth of population meant that there is an increasing demand for energy intensive water pumping, transportation, treatment. So we have seen projects coming up which lift water from one elevation to a higher elevation in order to ensure access. In India, the distribution of rainfall is highly non-uniform both in terms of time and space. So as a result, water is required to be stored and utilized for meeting the demands of different sectors throughout the year. So efficient water management techniques are required for sustainable development of the available surface and groundwater resources. So the IPCC AR4 or the fourth assessment report suggested that the average temperatures will climb from 1.5 to 5 degrees in South Asia by 2100 or 2100. Dry season rainfall will drop by 6 to 16%, while wet seasons will get even more intense because there will be seasonal rains and it will increase by 10 to 30%, leading to flash floods and natural calamities. So this shifts in temperature and precipitation patterns could carry major repercussions for India's freshwater and food production. What is more important is the fact that the climate change is inducing changes in the water cycle as well. So due to this change in climate, water cycles experience significant change which reflects in water availability. It is said that a warmer climate causes more water to evaporate from both land and oceans. So this is to the tune of 4% more water for every 1 degree Fahrenheit rise in temperature. This is very significant amount. So if there is more moisture in the air, it will lead to extreme weather events. So these changes are expected to lead to negative consequences on the entire water sector with increased precipitation and runoff. So another effect of this extreme weather events is that wetter areas will become even more wetter and drier areas will become even more drier. This will only exacerbate the regional inequalities as a consequence. And this will influence almost all aspects of economy, including drinking water, sanitation, food production, energy generation, and ultimately we are talking about sustainable development. So even India has sustainable development goals to reach by 2030. So lack of water access is one of the major roadblocks for attaining this sustainable development goals. How is exactly water important? If you take a look at it from various dimensions, water is one of the major components for various ecosystems, namely aquatic ecosystems, which is crucial for maintaining a homeostasis or a sense of equilibrium. Similarly, water is the medium where you have to maintain biodiversity, otherwise it will have a cascading effect on the health of our environment. Thirdly, water is central for food security because without water we will not be able to produce more crops. Similarly, for a society to stay peaceful, water access is very important because unless and until, if you take the present case of COVID-19, imagine the situation of people who do not have access to clean water. neither they can access clean drinking water for their personal body utilization, or they can utilize water for their sanitation standards and to stay away from the threat of COVID-19. Similarly, access to water is also central for your economy. If you take a look at major civilizations, they flourished on the banks of rivers because of the intricate linkage between economy and agriculture. So, our food security, economy, ecosystem services all are intricately linked to access to water. Now, what are the major sectors that requires climate sensitive planning to handle the eventuality of climate change? If we are taking a closer look, it is agriculture, fisheries, and forestry, which are going to be mostly affected by any sort of change in the water distribution pattern. We have the National Action Plan for Climate Change, and this National Action Plan on Climate Change is one of the intervention by the government of India to deal effectively with climate change. However, this National Action Plan, to see some effect, it requires the support of NGOs and civil society bodies as well as local governments. Right now, one of the major problem is this: we don't have an effective local government to deal with the problem of policy implementation. So this is one area where we can definitely work on. Similarly, if we take a look at the technical aspects of water conservation and mitigation, we understand that tanks and ponds are some of the major sources which can store water and recharge the excess rainwater to the aquifer. So rejuvenating this is one of the important intervention that the government must focus on, especially with the help of local governments. So if we take a look at our cultural history, water conservation and water resources management has been central to almost every civilization. So we have to draw from that wisdom and also increase public awareness in order to ensure this climate resilient actions have a proper meaning and connotation in the policy implementation phase. Unless and until we make people partners in our climate sensitive actions, no program will be successful. That is the reason recently the government of India through Jal Shakti Abhiyan has introduced this idea of Jan Andolan to conserve water resources. So this is more like a public outreach program to ensure that people understand the need for conserving our water resources. That is the gist of this article. This particular flowchart will help you in developing ideas for your essay as well as mains answers. The second article for the day is taken from the Live Mint and it is titled "A Gas Tragedy No Less Haunting Than Bhopal." So yesterday we woke up to a deadly news that a chemical plant situated in a densely populated suburb of Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh has met with a deadly industrial accident where 11 people at this point of time were killed, which also included a 6-year-old girl, and nearly 350 were admitted in the hospitals. So what exactly happened? There is a factory called LG Polymers and a chemical called styrene, which is a monomer, leaked from a chemical plant, and this happened in RR Venkatapuram in Visakhapatnam. So the gas leak began around 3:30 am in the plant, which is situated in the middle of a densely populated area. So this was set up in 1961 in the area, which was then a suburb. The gas reportedly spread around 3 kilometers and it affected at least 5 villages in that particular area. Around 2000 people were evacuated from that 3-kilometer radius. So the Visakhapatnam police also mentioned that there were 2 accidental deaths. A 19-year-old medical student fell from balcony of the second floor, and this happened because he was blinded by the fumes that were coming, and there was another person who fell into the well while trying to escape from the gas. So this kind of catastrophe was very heart-wrenching to see, and this is one of the worst industrial accidents in this decade. A similar thing happened in 1984, but it was much more serious in Bhopal when methyl isocyanate gas instantly killed 3,500 people, and it left a lot of others permanently damaged even till this date, either physically or mentally. So this is definitely not on the scale of Bhopal, but what is definitely worthy of asking is what are the lapses in the procedures observed in Vishakhapatnam. So the first question that we have to ask is what is the protocol followed by the company? What did the operating manual for the polymer plant specify as procedure for shutting down and starting production? We have to remember that prior to this operation, nearly for 45 days, the entire state was shut down. So, did the company take enough measures to actually restart the operations? Was the plant taking enough measures to handle the plant or maintain it even during the lockdown? If it is not being done, why is that? That is the explanation that is to be sought from the company. So, why is there a hurry to re-begin production without any oversight or taking enough precautions? That is the next question we have to ask. The next question that we have to ask is, did the restrictions imposed by the lockdown placed any curbs on the movement of people who are in maintenance wing of this company? That is the next question. So all this will together form a realm of speculation right now. So we don't have conclusive answers because the company has not come up with a formidable explanation as to why this happened. The only thing we knew was, the only thing that we know right now is, unless and until the refrigeration system is in place, the company shouldn't have started production. So it happens that if gas, that is stearine, stays below 20 degrees Celsius, the gas wouldn't have leaked. So the refrigeration problem caused this leakage of gas. Secondly, there was no alarm raised. So is it right to say that the company has not invested on alerting mechanisms in case of a breakdown or a failure? Why didn't the alarm go off so that it could have alerted people in the surrounding areas? So the biggest question that we have to ask right now is, are the governments letting go of regulations in the name of ease of doing business? So it is equally important to ensure quality control and not let businesses go away so as to avoid further accidents like this. That is the gist of this article. Thank you.